Well, I'll say a few things about our budget situation. I am very, very upset and displeased that we don't have a budget yet. It's inexcusable. There's really no good reason for it. We are doing everything within our ability to make sure the government runs, meets its obligations despite not having a budget. And I give huge compliments to our senior team and our department heads and all the team, the hardworking men and women who work for the people of Illinois. We've done a heck of a job keeping the government mostly running very well despite no budget. We are working hard to get a budget. What we should not do is purely focus on raising taxes and not get any structural reforms. We cannot afford to do that. One thing I wouldn't do is discuss that with you now, but I'll say this. We are going to have the government running effectively all the way through as long as is necessary. And let's focus, because I need you guys to focus on what matters here. We need a budget. We need to get structural reform. And when someone says to you that our requests or our recommendations for reform are extreme, I hope you'll ask them what they mean by that. The vast majority of the people of Illinois, Democrats and Republicans, support term limits, not extreme. The vast majority of voters, Democrats and Republicans in Illinois, support redistricting reform, not extreme. The vast majority of states have passed laws, Democrats and Republicans, to limit forced higher wages on taxpayer-funded construction projects, not extreme. The vast majority of states, Democrats and Republicans, have taken things out of collective bargaining inside government. And Democrats in Illinois have done that. Not extreme. So don't buy the argument that it's extreme. And when people say, gosh, the governor's he's trying to hurt the middle class in Illinois, call him on it. I won't use the language I would use. You can choose your own. But that is not the case. The middle class in Illinois is not helped by big government bureaucracy. The middle class in Illinois is not helped by higher taxes. The middle class in Illinois is not helped as we're pushing job creators out of this state. And that's what the status quo is doing. And our program changes that dynamic. And when someone says to you that our recommendations violate the core beliefs of the Democratic Party, tell them that is not the case. Democrats support term limits, Democrats support redistricting reform, and Democrats in this state and in the federal government and in many other states have taken things out of collective bargaining inside government. This is not a violation of the Democrats' core beliefs. Not true. Call them on it. And when someone says to you, well, the governor's advocating for things that aren't related to the budget, tell them, baloney. Not true. This is related to the budget. We have politicians in office who aren't responsive to the voters and are raising taxes without reform because we need term limits, because we need redistricting reform, because we need to take power out of the government bureaucracy and give it to the voters and the taxpayers. This is all about the budget. And they used to say in the spring, that a property tax freeze wasn't related to the state budget, so we don't talk about it. Then they found out that the people of Illinois want a property tax freeze very badly. Then they voted for it. They did a flip-flop, and they did that because they knew people wanted it, but they could do it in a phony way. They could just do a freeze without any structural change to make the freeze long-lasting, and then the property taxes would go through the roof 2 years later. They knew it was a phony reform. They voted for it after saying it wasn't related to the state budget. We've got baloney going on, ladies and gentlemen, the arguments. I need you to call it so we stop it and we get a budget with real reforms.